Hello and happiest of days, TTV folks. I hope you guys are having just an absolutely amazing day today. So today I am reviewing a short little poem. It's by H.P. Lovecraft. It's called Despair. Not anything else like The Despair or anything like that. It was published way back in June 1919 in Pine Cuts. And that sort of thing too. It's fascinating to you online. It's for free, which is great. And that sort of thing too. So my first favorite author was J.R. Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, and that sort of thing too. I read it when I was in elementary school, and it was my first adult novel, and then fantasy after that became my favorite genre. And so I was reading it all but down the block. And then a few years later, I turned to all sorts of stuff from Dragonlance Chronicles to Joe Devereaux's Kai series, game book series, and that sort of thing. I was born in '76, so H.P. Then I read Salvatore, and that became my favorite author. And junior high, and after history store and stuff, and I bought like books of it, tons of stuff, and followed him to other things. Then about 5 years later, Michael Moorcock became my favorite author. Since he's more of a mature writer, he definitely sort of matured me as a reader too. Loved them lots. And then about 5 years later, later in college, I came across a 3-volume collection, and this was my first horror genre sort of experience. This was a 3-volume collection of short stories, of all the short stories by H.P. Lovecraft. One of his Cthulhu Mythos stuff, one of his Dreamland stuff, and one of his stuff like his regular horror stuff. And that sort of thing too. And then after I loved it so much, I actually went and bought a 2-volume collection of his novels and stuff with all of his rewrites, ghostwrites, edits, and that sort of thing too, like The Mound, stuff like that too. Or Dar Alonso's Hyper's Diary and stuff like that. So you can check out. So I've read every bit of prose that he has written from his juvenilia and all, but I never read his poems. And that sort of a thing too. I'm not really, that dedicated a poem reader, and that sort of a thing too. I didn't, except when I had to for like college, like elegy written in a country churchyard, or stuff like, things like When I Have Fears That I May Cease to Be, or Shakespeare's soliloquies, and that sort of thing too. Other than that, I'm not typically just sitting down and reading poetry like I do with prose and that sort of thing too. So it's not something. So I thought it'd be nice for me to review, because I've reviewed like so many of his short stories and novellas for this channel, but I actually haven't done much of his poetry. So the first one I read was Fungi from Goth a few months ago, and then I've occasionally gone back and read a couple of these. Now this one, Despair, is some of his horror things are really horror stuff. Some of his poems aren't in the horror genre that he got popularized with the cosmic horror or anything else like that. I just knocked out a couple of days ago when I'm recording this. It's set in World War One. It's Conscript is what it's called. And it's about, so it wasn't horror, and that sort of a thing too. Sometimes they're actually not the best in the world. Like I read one that was all about how was so great, and we were so bad, and that sort of, and we're so good because we're his kids, and how great they were for bringing over slaves and civilizing them. I'm like, really, that's not, and they shouldn't have fought against. I'm like, really, that's not really that good. It's good to think, and that sort of thing too. But I've enjoyed this poetry stuff nonetheless. And so Despair actually is a cosmic horror. Sort of a thing too, so it feels a little back to basics. It's a little early in his career, but it's got strong, evocative stuff that's happening. I don't want to tell you the plot because it's very fast, so I don't want to ruin it. Great lines, great evocative feel, and that sort of a thing too. It's good stuff, lots. And that sort of a thing too. The lines are good, the delivery is good, the cadence is good. Good descriptions. It doesn't take that much of your time to love it lots. And so Despair, I think, is probably, even though it's written a little earlier in his career, and you can tell it feels a little better, I think, than some of his other poems. That sort of thing too. So I think I'm giving it an 8. I think it's strong stuff. It's fun. It's interesting. You like it. If you like Lovecraft, and if you like poems, I think you'll like this. Check it out. And this is back to cosmic horror. Despair. Alright, so there you go. Have you read it? If so, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. I'm going to sort of engage you with it further. And like I mentioned, I'm not a poetry critic. I didn't study poetry in college or even prose in college, right? Or literature or English, none of that stuff. Right? I'm just a fan, right? So your opinion really is valid as mine is because I'm not coming from a place of expertise, right? None of that stuff up and down the block. For you folks, but have you read this book? And what your thoughts are. So I do other reviews in addition to this stuff too. For example, on Saturday I do reviews I call Serial Saturday, dedicated to older movie serials that are written about this time too. And when he was living, I actually recently did one from 1929. It's a Tarzan shot, so you can check out stuff too. If you're interested in that stuff, I've done Dick Tracy, I've done superhero stuff too, like the Spider's Web and Captain Marvel, Captain America too. So that, and then on Wednesday, do older video game reviews. I've done all of the Baldur's Gate series. I did the Fallout series, including all the spin-offs that I've played, but not Tower. And that sort of a thing too, so you can check that out too. And then on Monday, I do something where I review tabletop RPGs like Dungeons & Dragons, or Middle-earth role-playing, or tabletop war games like Battletech. So you can check out that stuff too. And then also the other 3 days a week are things like this that are older in the 3 genres that we cover: fantasy, science fiction, and horror too. Right? So check it out too. And then if those 7 older reviews a week sound like your cup of tea, well then great. Have a seat and welcome to the channel. I think you'll enjoy your time here quite a bit, right? And while you're here, I want to do all the YouTube stuff. And please, like the subscribe button, the like button, the shares, the bell to be notified of those 7 videos. All that stuff. I'll open the box. Good stuff. I have lots. As you can tell from the 7 older things that are reviewed a week, it's the passion of this channel, right? It's even where its name comes from. This is a quote by a French philosopher, Jacques Schubert, says that the worst thing about them was that they kept us from reading the old stuff, right? Not that the new stuff is bad, right? It's not. But our passion for the new, in this case, the new video game on my end state, the new movies, the new music album. We've sometimes forgotten that these things are standing on the shoulders of giants, right? And H.P. Lovecraft is definitely a giant, heavily influenced by Cosmic Horror Map, the Cthulhu mythos. He's still right today. I love it lots. And so he's definitely a giant, right? Not the new things are bad, right? But you get the idea. See, right, so there you are. And then I want to thank you so very, very much for just taking some time out of your day and investing it, right, and watching my videos, because we all have so many things that are happening in our lives, and we're pulled in so many different directions too, right? So if you spend this time with me, that's incredibly humbling, and I appreciate that so very, very much. So thanks again, and have an amazing day.